everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I wanted to make a video titled Everyone Makes Mistakes, because I made a lot of mistakes in this. So the reason for this video was Reem Kala. I'll put a link in the description to her channel. We wanted to make kind of a collaboration kind of thing where she posted a video on her channel and then I would post a video on my channel about this prompt that she found on Jazza's prompting, character design thing. And the character design was a water sprite that likes to sing and has cloven feet. Well, I started off with this really awesome sketch that you could see right now. I mean, well, to me, I think it's really awesome. I just thought it was adorable. And, yeah, I forgot to save my sketch, which is, the first thing that I did wrong. And my computer, doesn't have a very good battery in it, so it has to remain plugged in or else it'll shut off. And I know that, I totally know that. And I forgot about it, I guess. I just didn't even think about it. And after I finished this sketch right here, I kicked the cord that was under my desk and, totally lost it. So, goodbye, beautiful sketch. And I'm actually thinking about, maybe taking a screenshot of it and then trying to go over it and, trying to fix it or trying to work off of it in my manga studio. So I'm kind of excited about that. I'll post something about that when I do. So yeah, that's the first thing that I did wrong is I forgot to save my sketch. So the next thing that I did wrong was that my pose was way too stiff because I didn't have a reference. So I was trying to think of something just out of my head, and sometimes you just, for some reason, you just can't get it to look nice, I guess. And that's what happened. My pose was just way too stiff, and I knew that it was, and I didn't like it while I was doing it, but I decided to just keep going with it, maybe it would be better, because a lot of the time I have a problem with finishing my artwork if I don't like it. So I was trying to push through that and keep going, but I knew that I should have fixed that pose. Which leads into the next problem that I had with it, is the fact that because I didn't have a reference, I didn't have a very good understanding of the pose. So my anatomy placement was like way off, and I struggled a lot with things that I usually don't. Like, I struggled a lot with her eyes and the placement of them, and I struggled a lot with her legs and her feet and her hands. Because, well, I'm not very good at hands in the first place. Then I didn't use a reference, so I was trying to just remember out of my mind. And yeah, that did not work out too good. Eventually what I ended up doing was, because I didn't feel like getting up and just like taking a picture of my hand and then trying to go work off of that, which was just me being silly and and not wanting to go do something that was very easy that I could have totally fixed. And so what I did was, in front of where I'm drawing, I have a window, and so I put my hand like up to the reflection of the window and then tried to like figure out how that would work like that. Yeah. It's kind of silly. But it worked all right. It ended up working, so I guess that's a win. And in my last video, I was talking about like common art myths or whatnot. And one of the things was that could like help you is by critiquing your own work. And so I figured this was a really good chance for me to critique my own art, because I know how many mistakes I made in it and I could see them and I know that I could do better. So I figured, yeah, today would be a good time to do that. So another thing that I did wrong here, I actually did in the very beginning of the video, and that was having a sketch that was way too sketchy. So when I went in to actually ink over it, I had to guess at a lot of the lines that I wanted to put down. And one of the main things that I ended up doing was I totally forgot that I was supposed to have her have cloven feet. So I ended up drawing a regular foot and then realizing as soon as I finished that, oh yeah, it's supposed to be cloven. So I erased it and then fixed it. And next time I'm going to definitely make sure to have a more accurate sketch so that I don't have to do all that guesswork while I'm trying to ink it. That'll take a lot of the brain work out of it, because I'm really not good at using my brain to do more than one thing at once. So, yeah. At this point, I decided that I wanted to rework her face and have a more expressive expression on her. So, I erased everything and then I tried it again. And I think it turned out a little bit better than just having her have closed eyes. And then, of course, I reworked her eyes again because I still didn't like her eyes. And I think that's probably pretty normal. I'm pretty sure a lot of artists go through a bunch of different iterations when they're doing their own art. And I think it's totally normal. So, if you end up doing that, don't feel like, it's because you're not good. It's just because sometimes you draw something and then you don't like it anymore, so you just erase it and do it again. Totally chill. So, right about here, I struggled with the different colors. I actually went through about 3 different color stages. Like, I did this one, and then I tried to do another one where it had a little bit more detail in it, and I still didn't like it. Then I landed on one that I actually still don't like, and that's because I didn't use color thumbnails. So I didn't really know what I wanted to do color-wise before I started to do it. So you can see me trying to figure out like what color I want to do. And next time I'm definitely going to remember to do color thumbnails, and I'm even going to do a study of color theory for myself so that I don't have to struggle so hard with that next time. One of the other things that I saw that I didn't really like is that my lines, I'm not very good at my line work. Like, it's okay, it's not terrible, but I want to get better at it. So what I ended up doing at one point is dropping the opacity on my line work and going in with a different brush that was a lot softer, and just putting in some like really light and broken up lines so it would have more of a illustrative feel to it, I feel like. And I think that really helped. So that's another thing that I need to work on is my line work. And I don't really mind it so much, so it's not like one of the main things that was a problem, but I think it added a nice little touch at the end when I changed it. And last but not least, one thing that I definitely made a mistake of was being too hard on myself. While I was drawing this, the only thing that I could think about was, oh my gosh, please be over. I just want to be done with it. Because I really hated it. Like, I hated it all the way up until my 3rd recording of a voiceover for this, and I realized that I was being really harsh on myself, and it turned out pretty good. And I know that I am intelligent enough to understand that everybody makes mistakes, and I know that I'm better than what I give myself credit for. So when you're doing your art and you're starting to feel really down on it, just remember that this is only one drawing that will be of many. Like, you're going to be doing so much work that you're going to get way better. So don't be too harsh on yourself now, or else you might not want to continue. And that's something that you definitely don't want to happen. Like, I really hope that anybody who watches this video, like, the one thing you take from it is that everybody makes mistakes. Even me, even, like, just everybody. So don't be too hard on yourself, and give yourself some credit where credit is due, Like, imagine all of the artwork that you've done up until this point to create that picture, Like, you've come a long ways, and I'm from somebody who has been drawing for her whole life, like, I'm really proud that I stuck with it, because there's definitely some art out there somewhere, in a DeviantArt account that I will remain unnamed that is just so bad that I cringe every time I look it up. And I go and I look it up sometimes just to be like, oh my lord, like look how better I am. And it's a real pick me up when I'm feeling bad. So yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching and keep your chins up.